Something early on that bothered me about the creator was that they kept calling the robots AI. I'm sure that's because AI is such a popular buzzword right now. But when AI creates robots and the robots become the threat, you shouldn't call the robots AI. That's like saying because human beings use their brains to function, you would call a person a brain or brains. Doesn't sound right, does it? The AI called Skynet created Terminators. You don't call the Terminators Skynet. They're called Terminators. It's kind of stupid, right? Yeah. Found that annoying. They call it the T-1000. They don't call it the Skynet 1000. Okay. In the near future, humanity develops AI to a point where things are a little dangerous and the city of Los Angeles gets nuked. Whoops. The United States of America declares war on AI and then developed a super weapon to track down these AI robots and bomb the shit out of them. So in retaliation, the robot resistance, or AI I guess, they develop a weapon to fight the United States' weapon. John David Washington is the key to everything, so he gets dragged into this war that he hasn't wanted to be a part of ever since he has had a tragic loss. Speaking of John David Washington, I'm not sold on him as an actor. It's weird. I can see that he's doing a fine job acting, but it's like his face isn't capable of emoting. His face just doesn't move right. Almost like he's a robot. Is John David Washington AI? He has a couple of scenes where he cries, right? But I don't think we ever physically see him making tears. It's like he turns toward the camera and his face is wet, or there'll be a cut to him and his face is already wet. He's like... Anyway, I also don't love his character as much as I love the idea of his character. Like his face, the execution was just a little bit off for me. His alliances the whole time, they're a bit shaky. But I like that he's mostly driven by love and loss. He's not the smartest character, but it was very easy to get behind his motivation. The weapon that JDW is after is a robot that looks like a child. I think that this girl did a fantastic job. To have a childlike robot that's just thrown into this world and experience war for the first time, firsthand, this is pretty much exactly how I think it would go. And I'd say that the part of the movie that made me feel the most emotion, which didn't happen a lot, she was a part of that. Basically, where John David Washington is a human that just can't express emotion, she's playing a robot that made me feel something. Wait a second. Was that the point? If I had to say there's a villain in this besides the overarching war that's going on, I guess I'd say Allison Janney is fleshed out the most. Humanity is at war with robots, okay? She leads a specific military group that is supposed to kill the robot child. And she's driven to get that job done, and she's a badass boss bitch, and she was amazing. I think she might have been my favorite character, and she has this anger toward AI that I think is more than justified. For sure, there's a lot more characters, but not really any other standouts for me. Gemma Chan, her character is a huge part of this, but she's characterized mostly by how other people describe her. We don't see much of her interactions with other people. So there's not much her character gives us. She's important to other people. And then you got Ken Watanabe. He's just amazing, but that's obvious. He's always amazing. Obvious. I think for what it is, the creator is very good. The visuals are amazing. And the basic story is pretty solid. There's also a lot of creative, cool, futuristic ideas going on. I love seeing cool new futuristic technology. Here's the issue. This is 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and I feel like I didn't get enough. I wanted more. I feel like this is a 4 or 5 hour movie that got cut down to just over 2 hours. And the thing that led me to that conclusion is that the editing is super choppy. I felt a huge lack in character development. And characters also jump from location to location without any explanation or difficulty. It just seems like this was a way bigger story that got cut down to a bare bones sci-fi flick. For what it is, I do like it. I can just tell that there's something missing. And where I felt that the most was with the characters and the story. With how big this world is and how big this war is, I think I'd prefer a 6 to 8 episode series that gave us backgrounds on all these characters. I want more involvement with how humanity turned against AI. Again, I like what I saw, but I also know there's potential there for me to love what I saw. I really wanted to love this movie, but I didn't. I just liked it. So all I can say is bring on the director's cut. See ya! Subscribe! The Matrix calls them machines, right? And the machines created the Matrix. And in the Matrix, they have agents. Matrix is another level up. You've got the machines that created the Matrix that houses the agents. Yeah, the Matrix is just on another level. And you know what? That's probably because you got the ANIMATRIX out there. And if you haven't seen the ANIMATRIX, that is an animated series that came out around the time of the Matrix that has this story that obviously everyone ripped off. It's called The Second Resistance Part 1, and then there's a Part 2. The 2 Second Resistances. It's like 8 minutes of content, and it's told in 2 different parts. You know what? I'm going to find a YouTube channel that has them, and I'm just going to link them in the description, okay? That tells the early story before the Matrix was created about how humanity created robots and treated the robots like shit, and one of them rose up, and when humanity decided to destroy this robot, the rest of the other robots created this rebellion and started the war against robots. Everything rips off the Animatrix. You should probably check it out. It's pretty cool. Stop calling robots AI, okay?